there a Niner?
There was a Niner in there. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, John, sounds like you've got a cold.
I do, and it's terrible.
Not COVID, is it?
No, it's not Coldvid. Get it? Yeah, no, it's
Coldvid,
not.
yes,
I think I may have told you, may have told our listeners too, but we were at a bar on the Harleys probably, I don't know, 2 months ago or so. And the bars, they were pretty much open by then, at least in Wisconsin.
Just to clarify, though, we were not at a bar.
Not you and I.
Lisa were at a bar.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
it's the cold. It's the Coldvid brain.
Coldvid, yeah. We get there, we ordered some food, and I could hear in the kitchen some guy is cooking, and he sneezed. He just goes, ah! And he goes, damn COVID, top of his lungs. It was awesome. Everybody's just laughing their butts off.
That's hilarious.
It was the thing that, is the chef, does he have COVID? Like that. So
yeah, you have to be careful with shit like that, though, because some people might actually think that.
It's a bar in Wisconsin. Who cares? And if there's somebody there, if they feel that way, they wouldn't be in a bar in Wisconsin. And if they are in a bar in Wisconsin, they're going to say, that's pretty damn funny, which is exactly what we do.
I thought it was pretty damn funny. I'm not going to lie.
I thought so too. And you weren't even in a bar in Wisconsin.
I wasn't even in a bar in Wisconsin. I've been in plenty of bars in Wisconsin, but
that's how PoddiMouths is making your life better, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it and you every day for making my life just that much better.
That much better. It was so bad just before PoddiMouths. Then it became amazing. The Coldvid, yeah. And it's so when I actually did have COVID, March of 2020, I was on a business trip, sadly, but what was I supposed to do? I'm already in the air, and I was on a trip to Seattle.
And we didn't really know much about COVID at that point.
No, we didn't. It was shortly after I got back, but at that point we really didn't. But that's, as it turns out, that's when I had it. And when I got back, it was like, oh, boy, boom, this COVID thing just blew up. Well, that's where I was this last week when I got this cold on a trip to Seattle. And it's weird because the whole flight, face mask, and I mean, everybody's all masked up. And so, which makes you question that a little bit, but I'm not sure I caught it on the plane. I'm not sure what the incubation period is for para-influenza 3, which is apparently what I have. So yeah, it's coincidentally another trip to Seattle. Oddly though,
wait a second. Wait, had. Does this mean you have a pair of influenza? Or did the influenza parachute down to get you?
We must have a really slow connection because
really?
You're usually faster than that, Quick Nick.
Yeah. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm scarred by what happened on that call.
Exactly. That's all right.
Yeah.
I think now that you have earned the Quick Nick nickname.
Yeah, Quick Nick nickname.
Quick Nick nickname. I think that will be usable as we go through. So anyways, I have not had a cold since then. I have not had any sort of a cold since I had COVID. This is the first one. So full circle. And these are not, this is not a sponsor. Natrol Juice Festive. Have it right here. I only have so many hands. Natrol Juice Festive. It's a daily veggie, and I take a daily fruit, and there are these vitamins. And I stopped getting them 2 weeks ago. I thought, you know what? I don't know if I feel any different. And I've been taking them for a year or so, and it's, they're fine, and then I got home and
you lowered your immune system.
I have a cold.
How dare you?
What an idiot. Well, yeah, because it's not just about, does it make you feel better? It's the part we don't see is, has it been helping your immune system? Has it been helping you avoid that stuff? And I've traveled several times and hadn't gotten anything prior to this trip to Seattle. So anyway,
Right. So let me
yeah.
ask you this:
So I
when it
ordered some
comes
more,
to
just so you know, Natrol.
good,
Yeah,
ding. I just
see if it
started a
helps.
new regimen. I forgot the name of them, but they're very interesting. The capsules themselves are mint flavored.
Oh,
So, but it's weird though because you take them and I still get the fish burps,
I
even
think
though
those are
it's a
certs.
multivitamin.
Are you sure you're not taking
Certs.
certs as a multivitamin?
I could be. I would be okay with that. I love certs.
That's a good
I
idea.
haven't
Yeah, but I'm
heard
not
that
sure
name in
it'll
a
help you.
long time. Probably not. Anyway, that was not where I was going with that. I'm interested to know now that you have a cold that you're walking around and before we got on here, I knew John had a cold before I even heard him speak because I saw this massive container of Kleenex sitting on his desk. Massive.
It
And
was not
yeah,
massive.
it's massive. It took up most of your desk. It's a big container. That's almost like a Costco container. Ding.
It's not as big as my head.
A nose in need deserves puffs indeed.
Yeah, this is the lotion flavor too. So
Yeah, yeah, and
yeah.
that was the other dead giveaway. Usually you use lotion for other things. So anyway, my question to you
How did you
is
know that quick, Nick?
that was delayed as well. You really are sick. Um,
No, sick Nick.
how do you feel going out into the world now? Because of people's thought processes now. Anytime anyone is sick, we were talking beforehand. You were talking about the cook in the bar. So with the cook in the bar yelling that out, yeah, that's funny. But now you actually are physically sick. Do you think before you go out, oh, people are going to think I have COVID and that I'm exposing them, or what's your thought process there?
I think it's become a lot less since the vaccinations, which is a little odd
There's a
because,
vaccination out there.
yeah, well, let's call it a quote unquote vaccination.
A quote unquote
Um,
vaccination? There's a vaccination? I don't know. We don't have that here in Tennessee.
oh no, well they weren't going to tell everybody.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay. Thank
so
goodness.
yes, I know. Tennesseans will be back for you. I think that's what Joe Biden said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not doing really well as the volunteer state. We haven't volunteered for jack shit.
Well, I think you volunteered for as much as anybody else has.
Anyway, so go on.
Yes.
Go on.
Well, I'm not sure where I was going, but I think the vaccination has changed people a little bit. Not to be so freaked out because before that happened, people were. I mean, I read somebody posted something, a comedian, and he said these days it's a lot more socially acceptable to drop ass on a plane than it is to cough. And I thought, you
Yeah,
know what?
I can
There's
see
probably
that.
some truth to
Absolutely.
that.
There's
Well, at
so
least he's
much
not
truth to that.
coughing. And if
Yeah.
the masks really did work, think about this, you couldn't smell it.
Right. That's true. That's so true.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there.
The only thing the
Anyway,
mask is good for, I found, is if you've run out of minty gum to keep that bad breath just circulating in your mask, and you definitely know you have bad breath.
the big problem with that is though, I want fresh breath. Now I'm constantly smelling my own breath. So I use my Listerine strips like never before just because and
Yeah.
people will go, "Don't worry, I can't smell it." Not for you. It's for me. And I'm
Exactly.
slapping them on my
Exactly.
tongue.
Those great Listerine strips they'll give you cancer, you know.
They will not. That's a lie. And they have 0 calories, unlike those
That's because
certs
of the
that you like.
aspartame, which you're right. The strips won't give you
There
cancer.
is
The
no
aspartame will give you cancer.
no, there is no aspartame in there. Sorry.
Oh, what's in there
What else
now?
you got?
They
What
switch
else you
it?
got there, crybaby? They never had
Everything
it.
gives you cancer, John. Everything gives
Well,
you
oh,
cancer.
yeah, and you've heard me do the George Carlin version of that. Doctors say now that saliva gives you cancer, but only when taken in small amounts over a long period of time.
Yeah. That's
Saliva.
exactly it.
I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna die of something.
What? Huda? I mean, do you know anyone that's had cancer? I don't.
Do you know anyone who hasn't? Sheesh. running rampant.
Oh, yes, yes. So tell us more about your exciting trip to Seattle.
It was good. It was a business trip, and we got to see our new office that I don't think you've seen yet, have you?
No, I have
Yeah,
not.
it's
I've seen
the
it on a map.
uh, what I do. Have you? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about that because that really comes into play. I plugged in the address, and in fact, I
Oh
cut
no.
and pasted the
Oh
address
no.
from my on Google Maps. And you know what? I do that all the time because
Mhm,
I am not inherently good directionally. So I cheat and make sure I look at almost any place I go that I'm not familiar with. I always plug in the address and check it out, see what it looks like before I leave. So I did that. And then I looked and I'm going, oh my gosh, this office is just up Cherry Street and over on Fit. That's awesome. It's right next to the Courtyard by Marriott that we used to stay at all the time in Pioneer
mhm.
Square. And so
Oh, it's
even though they had said stay at the Sheraton, which right across the street, I'm like, I see the Sheraton way over here on the map. Here's the office.
oh
Here's the
no.
courtyard. It's right there. And so I
It's
made the
not.
courtyard. It's not there. It's a ghost property, apparently.
Yeah.
And it was the correct address. Everything was correct. And so I was a mile away from the office, which is
Oh
fine
wow.
if you don't mind walking a mile every single morning. And
Well,
I wasn't necessarily up for it. So,
no, we've had the opportunity to stay in both of those hotels though, and I really do like that courtyard. It's a historic building, and I love it when they take the historic buildings and turn them into courtyards. I think they really did a
agree.
great job. The only thing I ever disliked about staying there was, hearing people get shot at in the middle of the night in Pioneer Square. But that has nothing to do with the
Yeah,
hotel.
it does
But
not.
I think it's a gorgeous hotel. I really enjoyed that. So, I probably would have purposely made that mistake as well because I don't mind walking in Seattle is not a problem. I enjoy that, and I would walk from that hotel to the market quite often, which is a lot more than a mile. And I've even walked all the way to the Space Needle from the hotel. So
Yep.
it is what it
Yeah,
is. But so
it's
you were
a
about a mile away, and
yeah. Yeah, I was a ways away. So it is right across from the Sheraton, so that will be where I stay next. But the rooms aren't as nice, and
right.
you get comfortable at staying in the same place, and as you said, that's been the courtyard for us. We know our way around and all of that. So, but I will say that the tenor of Seattle has changed. It's
Has
just
that's too bad.
it's a different vibe than it used to be, especially in Pioneer Square. We just for our listeners and viewers, we used to walk to the old office, which was roughly a mile, maybe a little extra from
Yeah,
Pioneer
not quite a
Square.
mile.
Okay,
It's
so
so
a
if you're
mile-ish.
familiar with yeah, if you're familiar with Seattle, the office, it was right on the edge of Chinatown in Seattle,
Yes,
on the
correct.
back side of the building, and on the front side of the building was, the baseball stadium, or is it the football stadium? The football stadium is right there. Baseball stadium is next to it, right?
They're pretty close. Yeah, pretty
Yeah, so
close. It
if you're looking at Seattle
Yep.
from the bay,
Mhm.
the right side of the image in your brain from the bay, if you're looking right at it, the Space Needle would be on the left,
Yep,
on your left. The office would be on the right because it's right behind the stadiums.
correct.
It's the old
Correct.
Amazon
So over by the
complex, right?
stadiums, it's very close. Yep, I
Yeah.
think it is. It was actually a Wells Fargo building when we were in there, but whatever. Uh, it's we used to have to walk by. There were a couple of missions, if you recall,
Mhm.
that we used to have to walk
Oh,
by.
I recall very
And
well.
in the mornings, yeah, in the mornings it wasn't usually bad, but it was always, plenty of cigarettes and pot smoke and the
Yeah.
occasional
You were
sideways
very
comment to the
relaxed.
females who were with us.
Yep, you would always be
Yeah.
very relaxed by the time you got to the office in the morning because of all the pot.
Oh, yes. There might be some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking even before it was legal in Seattle,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was quite a while ago. But
Yeah.
anyway, so it was always a little interesting walk. Now it's a little scarier. And you look at, I mean, there's graffiti everywhere, everywhere downtown.
Oh,
It's
really?
just,
See, I haven't
yeah,
seen that in a long time. That's
yeah,
too
it's
bad.
kind of sad. It really is kind of sad. And many more security procedures in place at the hotel and at the one of our favorite steakhouses, the Metropolitan, as you may remember. They
Mhm.
had security out front, and people
Really?
pull up in their cars. Everything was valet parking for free, and
Oh,
yada yada. So
wow.
yeah, it's a different vibe than it used to be, and that's kind of sad. But we don't do an awful lot of time there. I talked to a couple on the plane on the way over, and the guy said, "Oh, so where are you going?" And they're really nice people. They had spent 4 days in Chicago and had a great time. Blah blah blah. And I said, "Well, good for you." I said, "Where are you from? Where's home?" Even though we were flying to Seattle, it could have been a connection. And they
Sure.
said, "Oh yeah, Seattle." I said, "Oh, no kidding. I'm going to be down in Pioneer Square." And the guy stopped and he looks at me and he goes, "Seriously? You're going down to
Oh,
Pioneer
no.
Square?" And I'm like, "Oh boy, what's changed?" And it's not like I'm a little guy or I'm not.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm probably not going to be someone's first choice to attack. Um,
I don't know. I mean, have you seen yourself lately?
yes, yes, I'm getting very tiny. Uh, so anyway, it's uh, not to be falsely calm though about it. You have to be wary. This guy said we
Sure.
haven't been downtown in years, and I said, "What? Really?" Yeah, they live 10 miles out of town, and so yeah,
Hmm.
it's changed the dynamic a little bit. It seems like. Where? Tell
So,
me, you've been doing some traveling too. You just got back from, is it Denver?
Denver. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell me
so
about
here's
that.
my very uneventful. It wasn't, Denver. I love Denver. I actually told the coworker that I was out there to meet with that, he can keep getting these meetings set up as much as he wants because I like coming to Denver. I like coming to Colorado or any of that general area. I would be happy to do more of these presentations. Um,
How you going to
but
be in
the
the
only
winter?
exciting, even in the winter, I don't care. I would move out there in a heartbeat.
You'll like it better.
I'd probably, yeah, probably. So anyway, I rented a car when I got to the airport, and it happens to be the mod or the make of the manufacturer that we work for, or I work for now because you're technically not on that account anymore. But
True.
so I it was fine. I mean, it's a great car. I've always loved the car. I sold them at one point, and I've always really liked this particular car. So I was kind of happy to see it in the lineup when I got to the rental car place, and I, hopped in and I grabbed it. It's got Apple CarPlay in it, so everything went fine. Meetings went fine, and then yesterday we had those two presentations where I made the second presentation all about me being Quick Nick. I was not very quick after that because I had to start heading to the airport before the presentation was even over. So I did my part, put everything on mute, packed everything up, and I had my phone and my iPad in my hand, finishing the meeting as I'm walking out of the hotel, right? Getting down to the car. Meeting ends, I pack everything up, I get in the car, I plug in my phone, thinking the CarPlay will come up, and it does, it comes up. I get back on another meeting because I had a meeting right back to back, but that one I didn't really I didn't have to present, so I could be driving. It was kind of a recap, but it was also with the client. And so I turned that on, and then I turned on my Waze app to get myself to the airport to drop off the rental car and get going. Right. Well, for some reason, I thought it was my phone, but for some reason, as I pull out, the CarPlay goes away. Actually, the whole radio restarts itself. So then I'm listening to the meeting on my phone, but Waze is shut off. So and then it comes back on, and then Waze comes up and asks me, "Do you want to resume your map?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I hit it again, and this happens 4 times before I even get out of the parking lot. And then I get out, and I'm trying to fix it on my phone as I'm driving because I'm starting to run late, and I get turned around and I go the opposite direction. And I had to pull over. I tried to restart my phone. I got on and off that call like 3 or 4 times. No one said that they could hear me swearing, but I was swearing the whole time because the phone froze up to the point where I couldn't even swipe up to get the things to close. It
Ah,
wouldn't restart. I mean, it was annoying. So I had to pull over. I got that all figured out. And before I even messed it up one more time, I just plugged it in and only used Waze so I could get to the rental car place. Then I finally got there, got everything packed away. Then I finally got to restart my phone, and I couldn't actually make a call or do anything until I got finally to the airport, sitting at the gate, waiting for my flight, which was not delayed, by the way, unlike my
ooh,
last trip to Denver. Yeah, it's
nice.
right on time. Yeah. So that was my
Wow.
my whole the only other part, and this one is me being a little. I'm just gonna say it. This is me being a little bitch, a spoiled brat. Um,
Wait, wait,
I
wait,
said
wait.
out
I
of
just want you to be able to see this. Look how surprised I look.
exactly,
Okay, continue.
exactly. It was a very surprised look for those of you who are still listening to the podcast and not watching. So on the way there, I didn't get upgraded. Now the last what 8, 9 flights that I've had, I've been upgraded. Didn't get upgraded. I
Wow.
was one person away from being upgraded. My flight back, I'm going to show you this because I took a picture because it happened twice. Oh, now I lost it. There it is. Can you see this? See where
Only if you hold it
N
up to the
cubic is?
camera. You are.
One away from being upgraded.
Oh
Everyone
boy.
above me. The only 2 people that are above me are the Bens.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I didn't get upgraded.
Wow.
And my initial thought was there are too many people comfortable with the fact that COVID is quote unquote gone. It's not gone by any means. Don't get me wrong, but too many people are comfortable enough now where they're traveling and they're traveling for fun.
Sure.
I'm like, this is business people. This should all be business people. Let's get rid of this fun shit. I want my upgrade.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking
Wow.
in my head. I
Gems.
obviously didn't say
That
that.
you should have said that. That would help a lot, I would think.
I sure it would absolutely get me booted right off the airplane. But that was really, I mean, nothing to complain about. The flights were both very smooth, very easy. The only other complaint I had was I was in a seat this time. So on the way there, I selected the
You were in a
very
seat.
front.
Oh,
I was in a seat. Yeah, I did. They didn't put me in the cargo hold for once. I I sat in it was A7A. I'm sorry, 7B. So I was on the aisle on the way there. And this particular one, that 7B seat doesn't have a bulkhead in front of it. It has nothing but the first class hallway or the first class yeah,
Kyle.
pathway. Aisle, thank you. So you're sitting there and you're just kind of woo, I'm in the middle of everyone doing everything. It's kind of like a jump seat. And I didn't really like that, even though I love being on the aisle. So on the way back, I chose 7A, which is the window seat, because my biggest reason for sitting on the aisle is because I want to be able to get up and get out so I can go to the bathroom if I ever need to. That's really the only reason. Otherwise, I actually prefer the window seat because I like looking out the window. But there was
Mhm.
enough room in this one where I could get around that person very easily if I needed to. So I was fine sitting there in the window seat. So I chose that, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching my iPad. I've got my headphones on, and I'm just chilling and like I haven't eaten anything all day. So and I was really looking forward to the snacks on the airplane because I haven't eaten anything. I'm starving, right? And I'm like, okay, 45 minutes into the flight, nothing. Hour into the flight, nothing. Hour and a half into the flight, nothing. 2 hours into the flight, we're starting to descend. Nothing. What the hell? I didn't even get asked for a drink. I wonder if they don't have service. And I turned, and besides my seatmate next to me, everyone had food and drinks behind me.
Did you
They
fall
never came
asleep?
up. No, they never came up far enough to ask us for a drink or for food. I don't know if the flight attendant just got distracted.
But the people
Never came
across the
up.
aisle had it?
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that
I don't know
happen?
what I have no idea. I mean, no one said anything.
Wow.
I never saw anyone come up,
Are you sure you
and I
didn't
did
fall
not fall.
asleep?
I am positive I didn't fall asleep.
Do
My
you
my sweet my seatmate didn't get anything either.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
So that was a little, but I mean, other than that, it was a
You,
smooth flight. I mean, it
you've
was
got
quick,
some
no
first
bumps.
world problems there, homie.
I do have some first world problems,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Well, I didn't get
I do
upgrade to
realize I
first.
am a spoiled brat.
I was at the front of the plane in the infinite legroom seat,
Oh, yeah, I
and
had great legroom. I had actually more legroom than a lot of the first classers did.
it's infinite legroom because isn't that the seat where in first it depends on the plane, of course, but it sort of jags in front of that seat.
Yeah.
It the because the aisle is different in first class. The seat
Yep.
configuration is different. So you have
Yep.
nothing in front of you but an
Well, I
aisle.
had a seat in front of me. No, I had a seat in front of me,
Oh, you did?
but
Okay.
no, it depends. On the way there, no, I had nothing in front of me. On the way back, I did have a
Got it.
seat in front of me.
Got it.
Keep hitting my
Got it.
microphone.
Got it.
I apologize. So, but
Mm.
again, my legs could go straight out. I actually had my legs propped up on the little, they have that little vent thing on the side there where
Yeah.
you could put anything. I just
Did
had my
did you take your shoes
yeah.
off?
No, I wasn't gonna go that far. I would
Good.
not touch
Don't.
those floors. Man, if I drop my
Yeah.
ticket on that floor, I'm not picking it. I've dropped my phone on that floor, I'm not picking it
Uh,
up. Glad they give you the hand wipes
wow.
now,
That explains why you travel with 3 different phones. That one's
right?
fine. I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah. Spoiled brat.
It's
Hello.
yeah, it's well, so let me give you some advice then. Fly American a couple of times. American, which is what I've
I'm
been doing.
flying
They
them
have
on
been
Monday.
packed.
Really?
Yeah, they have been packed lately, and I mean, with very few exceptions, every single seat is taken on every
Yeah.
single flight,
That
and
was Denver both ways.
they beat the competitors by $100 easy a ticket. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to rethink some of it because the airline on which I have status, which I haven't flown for a while because they're pricier, I
Yeah.
I I got nothing on American. I'm getting there slowly, but I'm a ways
Yeah.
away. I won't have an
That's
upgrade for 15
I'm
years
not
probably,
I'm
and
not looking forward to my trip the next week because of
yeah,
that exact same reason.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'll be interested to hear your take on it comparatively against United, who you usually fly or often fly.
Yeah.
Mine was Delta that I used to fly all the time, and yeah, I don't
I flew
anymore, and
Southwest the
so
other
I have no
day.
status.
I flew
I've been on
Southwest,
Southwest.
I
I
I just
gosh,
I
that's
feel
my
like
other one I've been flying.
I feel like cattle on that. I don't know why I don't like it.
I
I'm
don't
always
care.
far enough. I have enough status there that I get on the plane early enough. I can choose my own seat, but I don't like
Yep.
it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't
Um, I'm okay with them. What I don't like about Southwest is if there are flight delays, because then you got nothing.
right.
And at least with the other ones where you can accrue status, uh, you can at least have an opportunity to get moved to a different flight or good seats or good time or whatever. You have none of
Right.
that with Southwest. So but I don't mind them. I don't mind that aspect. Like you, I'm always in the A boarding, the first boarders. I will not be in the B's because for me, it's putting the bag up and making sure it fits because we don't check bags on, or I don't in business anyway.
Right. No, I don't
Um,
either. And
no, I
and
didn't
that's
figure.
the problem. I'm B. I'm still B, but A is
Yeah.
usually such a small group. So
I
I have to get to A, I guess.
I always pay the money.
Do you really?
Yep, always pay the
I
money.
I I debate it.
Yeah, always do. And unfortunately, that's the same thing with American. Is if you want to have a better seat, they monetize 2/3 of their seats, if not more.
All
So
right.
you have to pay if you want to be in an exit row. Uh, seriously? So, yeah, that's the way they do it, and most of the other airlines do it as well. So, with no status, you have no chance of changing that. But whatever,
That's so sad.
that's part of the deal. It's sure not as fun as it used to be. I watch
No,
the
it's really
old
not.
videos, of people in the '60s and '70s get well, that was me in the 80s, but in the 60s and 70s, people get on and they're all dressed to the nines, and we're going on a plane, and we're all
Yep.
dressed up in
Oh,
the
that
pillbox hats on the ladies, and flight
those were the
attendants were
days. So
well,
something
of air
interesting
travel, yeah.
at the Denver airport, I actually came into the A terminal,
Mm,
which is I usually come into B because that's where United flies into. But we came into A, and I actually
okay.
got to walk instead of taking the train. I got to walk to the main terminal to get to the rental car place, and they actually have along the walkway, um, they have actual uniforms through the years of all the different flight
Oh,
attendants and pilots. That was really
cool.
neat. As a
I
history
think I
buff, I
saw
really
that
enjoyed
actually,
that.
yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen that before. It is pretty
It's
cool.
it was fun, yeah.
Yeah,
So, well,
yeah.
what do you now that you're sick, I guess that's the best way to say it.
But I'm
Um,
on the mend.
you're on the mend. Are you planning on traveling anytime soon? That was where my question was going.
Probably a couple of weeks. I was supposed to be gone this week, and I canceled it
Okay,
because
good.
I think my fever topped out at 102, and,
Jeez.
yeah, yeah, it was pretty severe. But, that was before I took Advil, and wow, we're doing a lot of sponsorships today.
You
None
really
of them are
are.
actually
We should get
sponsored.
sponsored by them.
We should buy all of them. Anyway, but Advil would bring it down,
Well, that's
to the
good.
upper 90s, and that was fine. So, but they had nothing they can do anyway. Just treat the symptoms, they said, and off you go. So, and then losing
Ugh,
the voice, which is something I've done for years, and I'm just thankful I'm not speaking to a group of 200 people standing up at
right,
a seminar like I used to do, because
right.
that instantly, if you're not familiar with speaking in front of a group with a cold, losing your voice or having lost your voice, it makes whatever you're doing twice as difficult, because the
Yeah.
effort to get the sound out is just, oh my gosh, it is just so much more. I mean, it's not like PoddiMouths where we just kind of go, "Hey, I didn't hear John there." Yeah, tough.
Well,
So
no, most of the time I didn't hear John there. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to cut him out.
that's typically what happens.
Yeah.
Again,
Again and again and
yeah,
again and
in
again and
fact,
again.
I've seen
All
some
the time.
emails from our listeners, viewers that say, "Nick, was was John even on this one?" I think he had to step
No, I
out.
just like to hear myself speak, and I have two-sided
I know you
conversations
do.
90% of the time
Hey,
with
okay,
myself, of
full
course.
confessions. Full confession, though. When I do listen to us, and I often do, I
Really?
won't give you a percentage, but I often do, and I'm not doing all the hard work like you are with editing and so on. Uh, First of all, I find it
It is a lot of
interesting.
hard work making this look good.
Well, but you managed to pull it off.
That's why I wear a lot of hats.
I As do I often, and black
Yeah,
clothes, because it's
right.
very slimming, and
Well, I'm wearing
hats.
a blue hat. I've got blue eyes, wearing a blue shirt, wearing blue jeans, and I'm also, which you've seen before, wearing blue tennis shoes. So,
And listening to the blues in the background.
not when I'm on the podcast with
Just
you.
say
Come
you are.
on.
Just say yes. How did you know?
Yes, John.
You're a
Yes, I
genius.
am. You are a genius. You're
I
not paying
stop.
me to
I'm
say
getting
that at
tired of that.
all.
I'm getting
Uh,
tired of hearing you calling me a genius.
you know,
Please, please,
I'll
please.
stop. I'll stop calling you the genius you are. I mean, I know how
Whatever.
annoying it can be when people just refer to you as a genius over and
It's
over and over again.
often they say
And
evil genius, but that's not true.
evil genius.
That's not
Yeah.
true. No,
They say I'm a
not true
genius,
at
but
all.
it's fleeting. It's happening too
But it's
quick.
what? Oh,
Fleeting.
fleeting. I thought you said, but I'm bleeding. What? I didn't.
That too.
No,
Yeah.
you're not. I hope you're not bleeding.
No, just from the ears. Anyway.
Well, it's only because I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
there
Yeah,
was one other thing that I
crushing
wanted
it.
to bring up that I thought was very
Yes.
interesting that a lot of us would really key in on. And for a second, I forgot about it, but now I've remembered. So it has to come out before I
Okay,
forget again. What was I going to talk about?
please.
No.
Oh,
Um, what starts this coming week, John? We'll already have been one day into it when this podcast comes out.
What starts this coming
Come
week?
on.
Monday.
You are a flight fanatic just like me. You're a airplane fanatic just like me, and you live in
Oh
Wisconsin.
boy. Oh boy. It's gonna is it gonna be EAA?
It is. Oshkosh is this week, everybody.
Yay. This
Yay.
week.
And I don't get to
Next
go.
week. Yeah, this week because
Next
we're
next week.
yes, okay,
This week
never
because
mind.
that's yeah.
Does it
So yeah,
start on the
there's
26th?
it does. Yep. So that's
Yeah,
exciting for
cool.
people in Wisconsin or for all
I
those people that
you
get to
know,
go
it's
up and see it.
and I have watched several, YouTube videos of pilots flying in to EAA, and that's
Yeah.
probably the worst one. They have the other ones. What's the
Oh
Florida
yeah.
one called?
Sun
Fly
and fun.
in, Fun and Sun, something like that, Sun Fun,
Sun and fun.
and it's oh my gosh, I had no idea the tower just keeps the comms open, and
Yep.
all it is, tower, the guy is like an auctioneer telling people where they're going and eyeing them up in the sky. It's incredible.
Yeah. They keep when you're looking for uh Doctor Killer videos, the VTails. One of the
Yes.
ones that comes up a lot is a couple of years ago, someone came in their VTail and tried to land and landed so hard that he knocked one of his gear loose, and he hit it, knocked the gear loose, and he bounced. So you just see the wheel going back and forth, just
Oh
like pendulum,
no.
like a yeah, and he still landed
Wow.
because he just went down and he landed, but yeah, I mean he was lucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, that
pretty
was
scary.
yeah. So Aviation 101 is why I found out it was this weekend. He's headed that way. He's not flying though. He's actually driving because
Driving. Yeah.
EAA or someone sponsored him to pull a trailer, to pull a camper that someone can win a chance to stay in during
Cool.
Oshkosh. So, but
Awesome.
man, I think that's a goal. That I think we need to make that a goal. Maybe
Okay.
on Potty
Have you ever
Mouths.
been?
I have never been.
I haven't
I've been to a
either,
lot of
and
air
I
shows, I've never been there.
live close
We
by.
had
Yeah,
big
we
plans to
need to
fly in, but yeah, we need to do a live Potty Mouths episode
next year.
from Oshkosh.
That would
I
be
would love to do it next
awesome.
year, but I was gonna set our sights into, the 5-year anniversary of Potty Mouths, so 2 years from now, just because,
Okay, fine.
that gives me time to get my pilot's license and fly you in.
I think I'll wave at you as you
Yeah, I
land.
probably would. Yeah, I probably wouldn't wanna
Yeah.
do that either. Wouldn't wanna fly
No,
myself.
if
That's
good
scary.
gosh. Well, it's
I'd go
just so
in with
packed.
someone, but oh,
So
yeah.
you know how it is when you drive on the interstate or in a town or I mean, pick a town, a city, and there are just so many people who are really? You just cut me off. Ride a Harley and you'll be amazed at how
Oh,
much
yeah.
more you see. And it's not people that are doing things purposely. It's just they're doing things because they're not paying attention or they're texting or they're something. And
Right.
I can only imagine that sort of a dynamic when you're in a plane landing in an airport that has 5,000 other planes
Yeah.
there. I just,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
unbelievable.
out.
And these are people that are trained to be extremely, extremely cautious
Well,
when
but
they're still
mixed
doing
in
it.
with those folks, they are way more than the average driver, but mixed in with those incredibly safe commercial pilots who happen to have a weekend pass in a Cessna or whatever,
Right.
you've got cowboys and cowgirls who are just they're just gonna fly by the seat of their pants the whole time, and
Literally. Yeah.
holy cow. Yeah, I would
It's
not wanna
definitely
do.
scary. I would definitely wanna drive in. I wouldn't wanna unless I was going with
We're
someone
gonna
who
need an
has done it
RV.
before and the potty pod.
That's what we're doing.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay, 2
Decision
years
made.
from now, potty pod, off we go.
Yep. That gives us time to
Okay.
plan and get a bigger audience so we get people to come and see our live show. Now it's a live show. Woo! Hopefully you won't have a cold.
Wow. People would be disappointed.
Well, not any different than the people listening to
Well,
us
they're
right
normally
now.
disappointed.
Right. Exactly.
They'll say,
Why is
"I
that any
thought you 2
different?
were taller."
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I
But
used to
at
be
least we both
taller.
know we're quick. You're Quaddy
We
Quick, and I'm Quick Nick.
Quick Nick.
Quick
Well,
Nick.
and we'll give away a Quick Nick basket.
I love it.
I'm a thinker. Yeah, I'm a
Yep,
thinker.
you are.
Do that. Nice
Yeah.
plaid
Now you should.
tablecloth.
Speaking of thinking, you need to go and be the thinking man on the toilet. And what did you? What? There you go.
I didn't
Yeah,
really get that. Okay.
that's. No, I know
You need
it's
to be the thinking
people
man
that
on the
have.
toilet.
No one that listens to our podcast would get it, but all of my friends back home would.
Wow, what a surprise in Minnesota. Yeah, what a surprise.
Anyway, we're
Yeah,
losing since we're losing it, and I
you
think we're
are.
both
I'm not. I'm
tired, and
perfectly normal. People are gonna
I'm not
be
saying we're
done with
losing our
today's
mind. I think we're losing interest. Everyone is now
people.
tuning out.
People are going to be done with it, and they'll say, "Boy, what the heck's up with Nick? John seemed
Yeah.
fine,
Well,
perfectly fine,
Bill's
but
almost
Nick
done with
was."
his walk,
Yeah,
so we're gonna have to, wrap it up so he doesn't have to stand out in the heat
we should.
listening to the
We
rest of
should
the
tell.
podcast.
We should tell a quick joke because if Bill's walking, I always like to think about him laughing, and we haven't
You like
really
to
said
think
that
about
much
him walking
funny.
and laughing. We haven't really.
Yeah,
Okay. We need to come up with a
do it.
joke right
I've
now,
got
everybody.
50 of them, but you go.
I don't have any. So go ahead. You do the
Come
joke. I'm listening.
on.
I'm
Guy walks
listening.
into a bar. I'm listening.
Don't you think you would have ducked?
Guy walks into a bar and he says to the bartender, he says, give me a beer. He says, see that lady down at the end of the bar, that douchebag? Get her one too. And the bartender said, what? Sir, we don't accept talk like that around here. I'll get you your beer, but don't talk about my patrons like that. And so he pours in beer, slams it down, and he walks out. Next day, same guy, about the same time of the day, nice little girl at the end of the bar. Yeah, give me a beer. He says, get that douchebag one at the end of the bar, too. Sir, I thought I told you yesterday. No talking that way about my patrons. Fine, just give me my damn beer. Throws the money down. Sam slams the beer, sets it down, and walks out. Next day, there are always three. Next day, walks in, beautiful girl down there at the end, same girl. He says, yeah, give me a beer. And he says, get the douchebag one. He said, that's it, get out. And the bartender's feeling sorry for this lady at the end of the bar, and she's very attractive. And he walks up and says, Miss, I know you were taken care of by the other bartender, but that guy, I don't know if you know him or whatever, but can I get you a drink? Well, she said, well, thanks for asking. She says, I'll have a vinegar and water. Now, since you're not a female, you probably wouldn't understand that. Our
Yeah,
female
no.
audience right now laughing
Well,
hysterically.
hysteriously?
I was close.
You are sick. You were close. But
Yeah.
the problem is Bill is not a female listener. So he's
Bill,
probably confused as well.
he has a feminine side. He's not confused.
Oh, okay.
He
All right.
knows.
Well,
You
then I'll
go,
leave it with a good
oh,
joke. I'm gonna do a better joke. I alluded to
we'll
it
see.
earlier. All right, so here's mine. Three guys walk into
Oh,
a
good.
bar.
Yours is from the internet. Terrific.
Yeah. No. I didn't look this one up. This was one I've used for many, many years. It's a good old dad joke.
Okay.
Three guys
Great.
walk into a bar.
Yeah.
Don't you think one of them would have ducked?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. And we would like to suggest that you go to PoddiMouths.com, find all of our social media elements there, from Instagram to Facebook to Twitter. You'll find it all there. Do
To
we have any
earth, to
jokes
wind,
linked up
to
there? That would be
fire.
great.
Oh, jokes. We're full of jokes.
Yeah.
We need more. We need
Okay.
good jokes.
So,
We need jokes that are appropriate to our audience.
listeners and
Which,
viewers, send us some jokes, please.
yeah,
So Nick
please.
will read them live if you
I
send him a
will.
joke. It was not too
Absolutely.
crazy dirty because my mom, she's gonna listen. But
She's probably not going to listen to this one.
she will wash mouths out with soap.
Well,
Did
she'll
your
be
mom
washing
ever?
yours
My
out.
mom used to
Woo.
do that.
No, mine washed my mouth out with vodka. Anyway, I'm kidding.
I did not
God
know that
rest
was
your
a
soul,
choice.
mother.
I
Yeah,
did
I
not know that was
wish.
an
I
option.
wish.
Yeah. Just saying.
Speaking of vodka, John,
Happy hour.
go Happy hour. Go have yourself a nice hot toddy and
I
take a
might.
break. Feel better.
I'm not gonna heat up vodka. That would be disgusting.
Not vodka. No, you could
You
just
said a
make
hot
yourself a
toddy,
nice hot.
speaking of vodka. Have you
Well,
been drinking
I know,
already?
but it's liquor. No, not yet. Soon, very soon.
Good.
Anyway, you feel better. Our
Thank you,
audience
brother.
wants you to feel better.
I
Get
will.
over
I'm
your
working on it.
Coldvid,
I'm on the mend,
and
baby.
the rest of you have a fantastic week. Sorry that we kind of went off the rails there at the end, but you should be used to
Did
it by
not.
now.
It was
After
fun.
128 episodes, 129 technically. 20 actually
Wow, that's
130
awesome.
technically, because we had two that were like 120.1 or 120.2. So
We did have those.
yeah, we did have a couple of those. So we're probably like 130 by now, but we aim to disappoint, and hopefully we've done that for you this time.
Hopefully we have. Well done.
Yeah.
This
Have a
is
great
why
week,
you can't
everyone.
write. You can't write our advertising anymore.
That's
Hey,
true.
welcome to
Yeah, that's why
PoddiMouths.
we're doing
We
so
aim to
well.
disappoint. Yeah, I know. You're a
I'm
good
probably that
man.
would probably be a genius move. We'd probably get a lot more listeners. We'll
Like
try
what you're
that.
saying
We'll
there.
let you know, folks.
We sure
I'm gonna
will.
try
You'll
it
be the
a
first
third time.
ones to know.
Third time's the charm. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
See ya.